It's Orioles baseball on Masson on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon in Oakland. The Orioles and Athletics getting set to play the rubber game in this three-game series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. Thanks for joining us. Daytime baseball in Oakland as the Orioles try to get this win, get 2 out of 3, going into a day off tomorrow in Anaheim. And the Orioles are looking to win a series. It is something that has eluded them for a good part of the second half of the season. In fact, as you look at the breakdown, getting 2 out of 3 to win a series has been an elusive task for the Birds. Now, the Orioles win today. They actually get the season series from Oakland. They would be 5-4 against the Athletics. They haven't won a season series from the A's since 1998. Now, the last time they won a series outright, they took 2 of 3 from Cincinnati, June 24th to the 26th. So they haven't won in their last 13 series. And the last series they won on the road 2 months ago, May 13th to 15th in Tampa. They have lost 11 consecutive road series coming into today's game. And as you see on the bottom, they're just 4-10 in rubber games on the year. And Jim Palmer, if you're trying to get that third win, to get 2 out of 3, what you do, you hand the baseball to the starter and say, you take me there. And the starters in the series, they've been the difference in the wins and the losses.
Well, they have. And again, you go back to that the last road series, Brad Bergeson pitched a shutout with 7 lefties in the lineup for Tampa Bay. So, you know, Hunter, I mean, you got to play in concert. They did that on the first game here on Monday. You also have to pitch well. The bullpen was very good behind Tommy Hunter. Mike Gonzalez came in and got 4 in a row. Mattis pitched better than the 6 runs. But again, last night it was Troy Patton coming in. Matsui got a hit, double by Coco Chris. They had some runs. So if you want to win, Buck Showalter said it about as well as anybody. On the road, they're 18-38. The reason they've scored under 4 runs a game and they've given up over 5. You want to win today? What do we say? We used to be, now it's Simone. It used to be Simon. Simon says, I need to pitch like I did in Kansas City. If he does that, and again, the temperature, 107 that night. Perfect today. He does that, they have a great chance to win.
All right, so the rubber game of 3 here in Oakland. Orioles trying to get 2 out of 3 before moving on. It's a beautiful day for a barbecue. It's a great day for baseball. Lineups at first pitch are next. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout days. Well, it is a lovely day here in the Bay Area as the Orioles and Athletics close out the season series, the rubber game of 3. Let's get a look at today's game time temperature, brought to you by Train. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. 60 degrees. The temperature will rise as the day goes on because the sun only broke out about 11 o'clock. Pretty high humidity here for Oakland, 79%. as the Orioles and the Athletics play the rubber game of 3. Let's get a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Orioles. A little different look from last night. Robert Andino will lead off, then J.J. Hardy, Nick Markakis, and Adam Jones, with Vladimir Guerrero in the DH spot. Mark Reynolds again at first base, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs in the season series against the Athletics. Nolan Reinhold drops down to number 7, but gets another start in left field, and Josh Bell at third, and Craig Tatum will catch him bat 9th, day game after a night game. And our AFC scouting report brought to you by AFCA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Well, Brandon McCarthy, did get hit by a line drive that went all the way down in the bullpen here, and that's a long way. So he's streaking 4-1 with a low ERA since the All-Star game. 70, this will be his 18th start. 17 of those 2 walks or less. And then high altitude. He is 6'7". When he is throwing well, downward plane. We first saw him back in the middle 2000s when he came up with the White Sox, and he came out of the bullpen. So he's had all kinds of health issues on the DL with a stretch fracture of the scapula, but back healthy, even though it looked like people that I talked to, again, look at only 16 walks in over 100 innings. So again, he will make you put the ball in play, and he does not give up a lot of home runs, only 5 home runs all season. So Robert Andino will lead off. He is swinging a hot bat, and he's playing very well in the field. Coach Showalter likes the way Andino's playing, and today he moves up to the leadoff spot. He batted 8th in the game on Monday, and last night also in the number 8 spot, so he moves up to the leadoff, and McCarthy misses outside, and it's 1-0. Well, Robert Andino, last 3 games, he's got 4 for 12 with a double and 4 RBIs. He really has taken advantage of the opportunity with Brian Roberts out for this extended time. Andino's getting the majority of those at-bats. And a bouncer to short. Big hop for Pennington, and 1 away in the Orioles first. Take a look at our Nissan defense here at the Oakland Coliseum. There's many names, but that's what I'm calling it. A big outfield. Willingham made an error last night, but also hit his 20th home run in left. Chris, a big clutch double. Sweeney, who hasn't made an error now in 188 games, 71 this season. Sizemore, Pennington, Weeks. Brandon Allen came over in a trade out of the Diamondback organization. He's at first base, and then Suzuki catching every game. J.J. Hardy takes a strike. We were wondering if today might be a day where J.J. Hardy got a day off, because with a right-hander on the mound, Blake Davis might have played, but Buck Showalter going with Hardy at shortstop. And he looks it over low, and 1-1 the count. J.J. 0 for his last 18 facing this right-hander, Brandon McCarthy. So that average now at 264, but he does have the 23 home runs. And a good take there, and it's 2-1. Well, McCarthy again, 6'7", downward plane. He's got a big curveball. He came up a little cutter. Able to sink the ball, get the ground ball. Even if you throw fly balls in this ballpark, boy, a lot of room. Hard hit ball towards the hole, and there's a base hit in the left field. It's off the glove of Sizemore, so J.J. Hardy snaps his 0 for 18 with a 1-out single. Yeah, Cliff Pennington, great arm at shortstop. We've seen him go in the hole, make some terrific plays, and then Brandon Allen over at first. You know, he's a hitter, but he's played. But right here, maybe if Sizemore doesn't go off the end of his glove, Pennington probably catches it. But it looked to me that was a ball he was going to beat out anyway. The ball was almost in the left field, and Pennington had been able to catch it. Well, J.J. Hardy will take it. Nick Markakis now hitting at 283. Nick's got a 3-game hitting streak going, and he looks over ball 1. He smoked some balls last night. One of them was run down on the warning track deep left center field by Coco Crisp. They play him a couple of steps to left field, so they anticipate him hitting the ball the other way. There's a strike taken on the outside corner. Well, Nick Markakis ranks in the American League career numbers since 07. He is 5th in hits, 1st in doubles, 3rd in total bases, and 4th in extra base hits. He's usually in the 40 range. There's 20 doubles this year, so a little bit more difficult. Home runs, he's already got as many home runs, more home runs than he hit last year. On base percentage down a little bit. But again, slow start. In early June, he was hitting mid-230s, but since then, well over 300. Showalter and John Russell with the sunglasses on this bright day in Oakland. And that's a hard hit ball, and it's fair down the right field line. Hardy rounds second, hitting the third. Markakis will go for two, and Willie Randolph will hold Hardy at third. Slow developing because the first base umpire, Tony Randazzo, was a delayed call.
I think he's trying to get out of the way, Jim, on that play. And again, the ball looked like it went right over the bag. Bob Melvin's going to come out and argue it. I mean, fastball down and in. This is the perfect guy for Nick. There's Allen. Again, he almost catches it. And I think what Bob's going to say, that the ball bounced in front of the bag, which it did, but it doesn't have to land in fair territory. It has to go over the bag. And so Melvin's going to come out. I think it almost hit right on the chalk line.
Yeah, this early in the game, you'll get a good imprint there because the dirt hasn't been beat up.
I mean, watch the chalk maybe come up right there. So, you know, and again, Allen was trying to break, and boy, very, very close. But again, look where the Tony Randazzo is, the first base. He's right in line with where the ball landed.
So the Orioles have a rally going here. It is second and third and one down. Markakis picks up the double. His 21st on the year, and here's Adam Jones. Adam at 294, 21 home runs and 72 RBIs.
Leads the club. So one of those RBI situations. Don't have to get a hit, get a ball in the air. And again, it's got to be a controlled swing, and that wasn't it.
Well, Adam on a 5-game hitting streak, 8 hits in that hitting streak. He's at a 444 clip, and of course continues to lead the Orioles with 42 multi-hit games. Chance here to give Simone a lead before he takes the mound. Misses there too, so it's no balls and 2 strikes. Back-to-back swings and misses.
Well, you can talk all about when you get in this situation, the pressure is on Brandon McCarthy, the pitcher. But again, if you expand the strike zone, if you flail at pitcher's pitches early in the count, you kind of play into his hand, and all of a sudden the momentum, if there are any odds, they probably shift back to McCarthy now.
There's the 0-2 down and away.
You can see the ability to add a little bit. I mean, Brandon McCarthy, when I saw him come up, I go, boy, it looks like he's got a pretty good fastball. You know, can he pitch up in the zone and get away with it in the American League? And then he got traded to Texas from Chicago, and I'm going, no way in Texas. He's learned to be able to get the ball down. Overcome a lot of injuries to do that.
High fly ball, left center field. Hardy will tag. Coco Crisp will settle under it. Here comes Hardy. Markakis bluffs going to draw a throw towards third, so the Orioles do get the lead on the sac fly and the RBI from Adam Jones.
Yeah, the inability for Brandon McCarthy to make that good 2-strike pitch. Adam takes advantage of it. Boy, isn't it a luxury to come up and not have to get a base hit to score a run? That's what the runner at third and less than 2 outs allows you to do. Nice at bat.
Well, for Adam, his 8th sacrifice fly on the year. So he takes over the team lead there. And McCarthy now will go to work on Vladimir Guerrero with Markakis at second with 2 down. Vladimir's swinging a hot bat. Now we are told that here in Oakland during day games the ball will carry a bit better. But with the bleachers that they built for Al Davis, it still cuts down the possibility of the ball carrying there. That structure out there in center field.
Yeah, the warmer air does allow. I mean, the minute you get into probably what, about 7:30, 7:45.
There's a base hit for Guerrero. That ball's going to get down and go towards the wall and all the way to the wall. Markakis will score, and the suddenly red-hot Guerrero has driven in a run and a 2-0 Orioles lead.
Well, what has happened, especially in the last 2 games, and we even saw it in Baltimore, is he's getting balls out over the plate. And Vlad at age 36 loves, even at this age, the ball away from him. Watch him hit this ball with one hand. And that's exactly what he does. So 2 doubles last night. RBI double right here. I mean, there's the second run, and the bonus, he gets into scoring position. And with 2 outs, a lot easier for somebody with diminished speed to be able to score.
So Bob Melvin sees his team fall behind 2-0.
Well, no breaking balls and no balls in on any hitter yet. Can get you in trouble.
Mark Reynolds swinging a miss. The big 2-out base hit for Guerrero, who is now hitting 6 in a row. And Mark Reynolds will try to pick him up. Brandon McCarthy, 3 first-inning runs in his first 17 starts. 2 first-inning runs today. there's a strike in the outside corner. 0-2 on Reynolds. In his first 11 starts, McCarthy won just 1 game. But in his last 6 starts, he's won 4.
Yeah, he's coming off a game where Endy Chavez hit that ball off his ankle or shin bone. I mean, 3 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs. Of course, we all know the Rangers can mash. Not at their best.
0-2 pitch. Guerrero took off. And it's fouled off. They forgot about him, so Vladdy took off.
Well, there's a tendency, especially when you look at the count and the outs, that, you know, if you're Brandon McCarthy, he just wants to get out of this inning. But again, like I said, with 2 outs, this is the perfect situation for Vlad. Vlad, again, you know, about a couple of steps slower than he used to be. So he'll be off on contact.
0-2 to Reynolds, and he got him. So Reynolds down on strikes. That ends the inning, but a good start for the Birds. They scored 2 on 3 base hits. Alfredo Simon goes to the mound with a lead. Top of the first. Here come the Athletics in the bottom of the first. Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Athletics. Jamal Weeks, Coco Crisp, and Hideki Matsui with Josh Willingham in the cleanup spot. 3 home runs and 8 RBIs on the year against the Orioles. Brandon Allen at first and Ryan Sweeney getting a start in right field. Cliff Pennington, Kurt Suzuki, and Scott Sizemore.
And our AFCIA scouting report on Alfredo Simon, 30-year-old right-hander out of the Dominican. Establish your heater. Needs to get that 95-plus fastball, throw it wrong angle. He's been dropping his arm. Hard to find his angle. Mike Flanagan talked about that. You know, Flanny knows as well. And then shaky command. Good stuff, but then again, variety of pitches. Mike Flanagan was talking about it. Dennis Martinez early in his career used to drop his arm. Didn't work. Later on, he became a very established hitter. Worked a little more.
And a line drive base hit to left field for Jamal Weeks. So Jamal Weeks now with a 5-game hitting streak, a leadoff single.
Yeah, but no defense for that. And let's take a look at our Nissan defense. Reimold, Jones, Markakis, a vast outfield that will patrol the grass areas. Bell, Hardy, and Dino. Mark Reynolds, 3rd straight game over across the diamond at first. And then Craig Tatum, one of his backup. His Readers initially will get the afternoon off here in Oakland.
So Simone immediately goes to the stretch.
We talk about momentum. Shutdown inning, and of course it's nice to be able to get the leadoff hitter. And one thing that Alfredo's been able to do is pretty much control the running game. They've only attempted 8 steals. They've caught 4 of them. So he's pretty attentive.
Jamal Weeks with a increasing lead off first base. Simone really taking his time. Pitch to Crisp is right there for a strike. Our Nissan defense today. Nissan's bottom line sales event. Tremendous selections, great offers, bottom line savings. Visit choosenissan.com or your local dealer.
That's what I would have said.
Alfredo Simon wants to tell the baseballs, hit a ground ball to Hardy. Jamal Weeks back, he's got 13 steals and 20. He's 13 successful. He's been caught 7 times.
Well, that is the cat and mouse type of game you play with a left-handed hitter. You know that Chris would like to pull a ball into that hole. You can see it. I mean, right here, big avenue into right field, big ballpark, and of course the fastball commanded down in a way that doesn't allow him to do that. Even if he gets a base hit, unless you go in 3-2 and he's running, the double play is still in order, and you stay out of the big inning. I think one of the cardinal rules for right-handers is try to, as much as you can, keep a guy from getting to third in less than 2 outs. You know what Chris would like to do. Fastball command, it makes it very difficult for him to do that.
1-1 on Coco. And just off the plate again, ball 2. Simone staring in at Dan Bellino, but it was off the plate.
And it was up. And that's exactly what Weeks did. We've seen Oakland do, with the exception of Josh Willingham, that goes up, and the nickname is the Hammer. And that's what he tries to do with 20 home runs. These guys hit the ball where they're pitched. You need to do that, especially at home, because this is such a big ballpark.
2-1 is high, ball 3.
So again, this is pretty similar. If you go back and look at Alfredo's last 2 starts, after the good game in Kansas City on about 105-degree night, 10 hits against Toronto. They can wear you out. And then 11 hits. That was his career high as a starter. And then the next game against the Tigers, also a good hitting team, 11 hits, and that was in only 4 2/3 it. 4 runs in both of those games.
And a walk. So the leadoff single followed by a 5-pitch walk, and the Athletics have 2 on with none down. And Buck Showalter last night enjoyed watching Adam Jones in center field, the Gold Glover last night. A couple of assists. He now has 13 to lead American League center fielders, and only Alex Gordon of the Royals has more. That was a great throw to the plate, and an even better tag by Wieters, and then doubling up Willingham at first.
Yeah, that got Mattis out of the inning. And that was already a 3-run inning and allowed him to get all the way into the 7th inning. And so, here you go. What did Jim Leland said? Everybody wants to take credit for 1997. Momentum's as good as your starting pitcher the next day.
Simone misses low to Matsui. 1-0. There's Brian Mattis on the Orioles bench. He was out here early today getting his running in day after a start. Swing and a miss. Looked like he took something off, and Matsui out in front.
That's a split-fingered fastball, and it's kind of disappeared in his last 2 starts. But again, when he was a closer or maybe a late inning reliever, boy, that was one of his dominant pitches. Because as a hitter, you know he can throw in the mid-90s, and then the good splitter. We saw it from Koji Uehara. It looks like a fastball. Pitch to get a ground ball or a strikeout with.
That one in the dirt. Matsui lays off. 2 balls and a strike. Outstanding speed on the bases for the Athletics, with Weeks at second and Coco Crisp at first, who is not being held. Why is it that a pitch that is so effective, you say he's kind of forgotten about the splitter as of late? Why would you do that if it's such a good pitch for him?
Well, I think he's just gotten out of his windup. I mean, all I see here is this. Watch his front side. His front side, his arm spins left. He's like a merry-go-round. He drops his arm. He's completely gotten away from his windup. And, you know, again, this is, what, 3 or 4 starts now. He's a big guy at 6'5". He's got to get over that front side, not around it. See, he stays closed there, and he throws a strike.
Shallow center. Here comes Jones. That ball's trouble. It falls in. Jones to second, not in time to get Crisp. So Adam playing deep with a power threat at the plate. Matsui hit it right off the end of the bat. Bases loaded, nobody down.
Well, it tells you how big a ballpark is. Again, this is like Ray Guy, the former Raider punters, Hall of Famer. I mean, this ball, you think it's going to be an out. There's Reimold coming, and here comes Jonesy, because he's way out there.
Josh Willingham.
Again, they get lucky, but good base running, because they go halfway, just far enough so they know if Jonesy, with 2 assists last night, if he catches it, they won't get doubled up, and then they're easily able to get to the base in front of him.
So Simone with the early prosperity. Bases loaded, nobody down. Liner to left. Reimold that went over his head. He misjudged it. Weeks will score. Chris will score. Matsui goes to third, and there's a 2-run double on a ball that was misjudged by Nolan Reimold. It was a rocket right at him. He broke in, and it sailed over his head.
Well, there is no more difficult play to judge than a line drive right at you, because if you don't get a great read, and you can see right there, he doesn't. And you can't backtrack. Balls hit too hard. And here they come. And here comes Rick Adair, the pitching coach. You know, Simone figures, well, I finally got an out. Soft single by Matsui. Weeks started it all off. He walked crisp, and all of a sudden, while it should have been an out, they would have scored a run, but it would only been 2-1. Double play still would have been in order.
That's a huge play for the Athletics. It ties the game. And 2 in scoring position, still nobody out. So Simone has given back his lead 4 batters into the bottom of the first.
Well, the Oakland A's just hired Phil Garner again, and you know, he played with him in '76, but Garner hit the same kind of ball in the World Series against him in '79. And Benny Ayala let it go over his head. It was a screamer. Hard ball to judge.
Check swing, they appeal to third. He went too far, so 0-1 on Allen.
Yeah, you think you get a good read if you're Nolan Reimold. He saved the game in Baltimore on Sunday afternoon with a great running catch. So it's not like he's not a good outfielder.
There's a high fly ball to deep right, going back out at Markakis. He'll have a play. Tagging at third is Matsui. Going to third is Willingham. A sac fly and an RBI for Allen, and the Athletics have the lead.
Well, he does exactly what Adam Jones does. In Baltimore, you know, this score is already 5-2 because that's a 3-run home run. Little splitter hangs up. Brandon Allen is, it looked like he can make adjustments. Kakabaskas tried to get him out with curveballs right there. He's all over that splitter. That's the ball that tells you how big this ballpark is, because he crushed that ball and it stayed in the park.
And here's Ryan Sweeney, who's getting a start in right field today. David DeJesus gets a day off. Simone, and there's a high strike, a little generous call there by Bellino. Sweeney just 5 for his last 22. He got in the game last night late for defense. Popped him up. Battling the sun is Josh Bell at third. He's got it for the out and 2 down. You saw how the Orioles have been outscored in the first inning on the year. And the Athletics with 3 on the board here in the first. They had gone 15 consecutive games without scoring in the first inning, and they put 3 on against Buck Showalter's Birds here in the first inning. So the inning could be over now, if not for the ball going over Reimold's head. We'll see if Oakland can take advantage of the extra out. Here's Pennington. And there's a strike at the knees on 1. 3 hits and a walk. And the sac fly has given the Athletics the lead. There's a weak ground ball to first. Reynolds is there. He'll go to the bag, and the inning ends. But Alfredo Simone, after being given a lead, gives it right back. And the big play of the line drive sailing over Reimold's head for a 2-run double. Call today for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. Home run leaders in the American League. Orioles have slipped to fourth. They were third, but did not homer last night, so 142. Yankees still lead the league, then the Red Sox and the Rangers. And the Blue Jays with 141. So those top three teams, all contenders, looking to go to the playoffs. Here's Brandon McCarthy, who has new life. He gave up 2 runs in the first, and his team came right back and scored 3.
And both of these starters get me out of that first inning some way.
Nolan Reimold will lead off in the second, and he takes a strike. Simone actually did a pretty good job after that double that sailed over Reimold's head, as he retired 3 consecutive batters and allowed only the run to score on the sac fly. So the Athletics stranding a runner at third. He was there with 1 down. Reimold 0 for 9 in the series, and he's just 3 for his last 17.
It really seems like he's in between what he wants to hit till he gets to 2 strikes. It seemed like when he came up in 2009, hot streak, they adjusted. He came back after the All-Star break. Right now, not very good coverage on the outside part of the plate. That's where Suzuki's going to go.
From 0-2 to 2-2. Jim talked about McCarthy and the walks. He averages just 1.3 per game, generally around the plate, and as a result, he'll give up a share of base hits. Ground ball hit foul. He's actually given up more hits than innings pitched on the year. You usually see that with the guys who have pretty consistent control, because the hitters get good looks around the plate. The key is, though, he keeps it in the ballpark. He's only allowed 5 home runs on the year. 2-2 to Reimold is high ball 3.
And it's pretty much typical of Oakland's pitching staff. Much better here at home, not only record-wise, even at 3.3, but ERA 3.05 on the road. It goes up over a run. ERA at 4.18.
3-2 has popped up. Back of the plate, Suzuki charging over. And he grabs it for the out. So Reimold is retired and one away here in the Orioles second. Fans, the Orioles are back home at Camden Yards Friday, August 26th. They'll begin a 5-game, 4-day series against the Yankees, and good seats still remain for all 5 games, including both games on Saturday, August 27th, the day-night separate admission doubleheader. Now, help us paint the ballpark orange. For your tickets, call 888-848-BIRD or get online at Orioles.com.
Yeah, a chance to get back in the win column against
Josh Bell, right field, called off by Crisp.
Yeah, Sweeney just get out of the way in a hurry. Even though, again, he hadn't made an error in over, 188 games, 71 this year. But Crisp calls him off. That's what you want.
2 down as Bell goes after the first pitch. And here's Craig Tatum, who is batting 9th, giving Wieters a day off. Tatum in his last 2 starts, 2 out of 7. His 21st game with the Orioles. And it's outside 1-0. McCarthy out of Colorado Springs, his 6th season. He was only a 17th round pick when the White Sox drafted him in 2002. He was then traded to Texas following the 06 season, and he signed on here with the Athletics as a free agent.
Yeah, so many shoulder injuries and forearm injuries. You know, again, I think he's the kind of kid you take a risk on because he's 6'7" and thrown from an arm angle that you don't see very much. There's the big curveball.
Chopper to third for Sizemore, and a 3-up, 3-down inning. So McCarthy's team got him the lead. He retires the Orioles in order, mid-second, 3-2 Oakland. Lottery's double play contestant of the game is Deborah Cooper of Waldorf. For every double play the Orioles turn during the game, Deborah wins $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. Now you can enter 2 great scratch-offs for a chance to win. To see how you can turn non-winning double play or Amazing 8s scratch-offs into cash or amazing Oriole prizes, go to mdlottery.com/double play.
We had a 3-time winner last night.
Yep.
I think John Wellman, I believe. Not sure where he was from. 3 double plays. I'm sure he was enthralled about the pop fly to center field and Adam Jones cutting off a run with another one. Conventional. How about Eric Bedard of the Red Sox? Triple play. And
yeah, I saw that.
They don't get him a lot of runs. He still loses, even though he pitched well. And then the Brewers, 2 days ago, they get a triple play.
High fly ball to left, chasing Reimold back as the ball carries. Back he goes, and it's gone. Kurt Suzuki hitting it out. There's the ball carrying better in the daytime. And it's a 4-2 Oakland lead.
Well, again, we talked, one of the keys to the game was, can you control and command your stuff? Hitters count. I mean, again, if you look at the scouting reports, you know he's a high ball hitter. He becomes much more aggressive when you fall behind, and then coupled with what you were talking about, Reimold trying to get back to the wall, see if he has a chance, and the ball well over, because there's an inner wall, and then you have that high wall right over the 362 something. So now what, 20 hits the second half, and 10 of them for extra base hits for Kurt Suzuki.
He was just 1 for his last 13, and he hits a home run. Here's number 9 batter, Scott Sizemore. Lowest percentage of runs allowed via a home run. Simone, 17.1. He just allowed a long ball there. There's a liner to right, chasing Markakis. That is backing over his head. And they're teeing off on Alfredo Simone. There's a double for the number 9 batter, Sizemore.
Well, when he throws something down in the strike zone and they hit it, let me know. Because they're all belt high. They're all over the plate. This is a young hitting ball club. They hit the ball where it's pitched. I mean, the numbers don't lie. They're the 4th best offense since the All-Star game. They're 3rd in the average, 2nd in on-base percentage. And again, they got the 2nd most doubles, and you're seeing a lot of that today. So with an off day tomorrow, I mean, you're still very much in this ball game. So Alfredo's got to give him a chance.
And Jamal Weeks hit by a pitcher. He thinks so. There's no signal from the home plate umpire. And he's saying, no, you didn't get hit. So here comes Bob Melvin again. The 2nd time he's been on the field in this game.
Well, he's going to at least ask him to for a little bit of help. Yep, see, there you go. Ask somebody else. Cal Berkeley graduate.
Well, looks like Melvin has at least just gotten his point across. So Bellino's going to ask each of the base umpires to come in. In fact, all 4 umpires now are going to gather.
Yeah, you would think that Brian Gorman, the 3rd base umpire, would have the best angle because he's looking across the plate with the left-handed hitter up there. A little breaking ball way inside. It's hard to tell. I mean, again, limp. Does he? Yeah, a little bit.
Well, could be trying to sell it as well.
I don't think you can really definitively say that hit him. It was close. There it is, a little fake bunt attempt. Now he's going to dive out of the way of the curveball.
And now Buck Showalter is going to come out, as the umpires have said, yes, it did hit him. So Buck Showalter wants to know, how can you change it when you said you definitively didn't see it hit him? I don't think it hit him. I think it bounced right by his toe. It looked like he got his foot out of the way just in time.
You're right. Does it get any better than that? Might have hit his toe. It is so close. I mean, even if you had instant replay, you can't say that ball hit him. But again, they change it, and it's not good for the O's.
Now batting, center fielder, number 4.
Well, what else can go on for Alfredo Simone here early in this game? having difficulties getting outs. His command is all over the place. And here is Coco Crisp with runners at first and second. It's still nobody out. And he shows bunt, and he pulls the bunt foul.
Well, again, we go back to the AFC scouting reports. Establish the heater, the fastball. He's established it belt high in the middle of the plate. That's not working. Wrong angle. He dropped his arm right there. Hit Weeks. Shaky command. All three of those things.
And there's a bounce of foul first base side. It's 0-2. And it's at the point now where every day Buck Showalter, he's always asked about injuries every day before the game, but now each day he's asked about the rotation because it continues, as he likes to say, it continues to be a moving target. He was asked about the Friday starter in Anaheim, and he said, well, it should be Reyes, but I don't know who's pitching Saturday, and I don't know who's pitching Sunday because Guthrie all of a sudden has a cranky shoulder. There's a line drive caught by Andino, throw to first for a double play. So the Orioles get a break there as Jemile Weeks was too far off the bag, and Andino alertly got it to first. And the Orioles turn 2. Our congratulations to Deborah Cooper from Waldorf. She has won $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery Double Play Contest.
Yeah, you're taught to freeze, but again, the ball hit so sharply, I'm not sure he would have gotten back. I mean, even your 2.5 step secondary lead's probably going to get you picked off. So a huge break for Alfredo Simon and the Orioles. I mean, you just never know. It's, you know, pitching is so much feel and touch. You can get out of this inning somewhere. Again, you go back to the first time Matsui came up and hit a soft fly ball that pretty much just a pop-up. But again, because Adam Jones playing so deep in this huge ballpark, it dropped to load him up.
0-1 to Matsui, misses outside. Simone as a starter has fared slightly better ERA-wise than as a reliever. 4.20 as a starter, 4.64 out of the pen. And there's a high fly ball, shallow center. Jones has this one. And Matsui retired for the final out. So after all that, the home run, the only run, as Simone allows the home run to Suzuki, and Dino alertly turns 2. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. And by Navy Federal Credit Union, a loan from Navy Federal Credit Union makes car buying easy. Visit NavyFederal.org to calculate your payment. Some of the beautiful wildlife here in San Francisco and Oakland. The sea lions sunning themselves.
The otters. Good seals, too. Go down to Monterey, just down the coast here. You can hear them in the morning. They wake you up.
Here's Andino. Rounded out leading off the game. So the Orioles are still very much in this game despite a very shaking first 2 innings for Simone.
Yeah, he's going to have to really settle down because he had made very few good pitches. And again, it is only 2 innings. Well, again, it's another, it's funny how Buck Showalter, as most managers will tell you, anytime he puts your name in the lineup, whether you're a starting pitcher or a hitter or defensive player or whatever, it gives you an opportunity to prove to him that you can play.
There's a line drive to right. That's going to fall for a base hit.
That's why he loves Andino so much. We talked about it before the games. I mean, here's a young kid that, early on struggling, wearing out lefties, struggling against right-handers. Now all of a sudden that number's creeping up. Wasn't hitting well with runners in scoring position. That's got better. Wasn't stealing bases. Now he's stealing bases. Can play second base, even though he's a shortstop. Can play the outfield. He could do so many things. Couldn't bunt early. What did he do? Works on his money. I mean, this is the type of player that has earned Showalter's trust. It's what you want from your players.
Here's J.J. Hardy. And he looks over ball one. J.J. in his first at-bat snapped out of an 0 for 18 with a single to left field. It was a hard ground ball heading through the hole. And Sizemore diving attempt at it. It ricocheted off his glove. Throw to first, chasing Andino. Well, most home runs by a shortstop going to a new team in the last 15 years. Of course, Alex Rodriguez with the 52 when he joined Texas. Miguel Tejada when he joined the Orioles, 34. Tony Batista, Jose Valentin, and J.J. Hardy, 23 with the Orioles. Still some season to go. Andino was put in motion. Foul ball near the Oriole dugout. Brendan Allen over, and he won't have a play. Cannot go in the dugout. You can catch it in falling, but
yep.
He went about as far as he could go. And
yeah, the old rule, you could go in there. Of course, guys are usually elbowing you and whatever. I mean, it was fair game. I saw Butch Hobson. We used to stay down in Fenway Park. There's a tunnel that goes down, what, about maybe 7, 8, 10 steps. Then you walk along, then you go up 7, 8, 9, 10 steps. Butch Hobson launched himself down the tunnel. And I'm sitting there and, talking to my good pal Earl Weaver, and all of a sudden this human torpedo goes by, and I almost thought about grabbing him until I realized that it's my pitching arm. So there are some guys
looking out for number one there.
Oh. Well, when I was on David Letterman, I was on there a couple of times, maybe 3 times, and he said, were there any like old wives' tales? The taking care of your arm and all that. I said, well, yeah, you sleep with a sweatshirt on, don't let air conditioning. He said, make sure your arm's inside the car when you go through toll booths, things like that. Just little things. Experience, Jim.
2-1 pitch swing.
You can respond to that.
Well, no, I'm thinking of where this is going.
Oh, no,
I'm not. Here, all these years later, I thought it was all about the pancakes.
That too.
But
blueberry pancakes. I didn't like blueberry pancakes, but we were at the Boston Sheraton, and I had blueberry pancakes. Didn't want to miss the game, so I got to the ballpark. We scored 17 runs.
Andino runs, and the ball fouled off.
And you score 17 runs, and you eat. When Bob Sadowski pitches for the Red Sox, so it was kind of one of those games where you knew you're going to get a bunch of runs. What do you eat the next time? Blueberry pancakes.
Now, is that a superstition or a habit?
Mike Flanagan says it best. Stupid superstition.
Well, he could say that to you. He was
no. That's what we used to joke about. You have all these superstitions, these rites of passage, and sometimes they work. Sometimes you do exactly the same thing. You go to the ballpark the same way. You wake up at the same time. You eat the same breakfast. Blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
I've bought into some of those over the years. Bluff's going, and there's a bouncer to short. Pennington, the second one. Weeks back to first. There's a double play.
Well, that's the ability that you talked about. Brandon McCarthy can throw the ground ball. Gets them to roll over out in front. Well, nothing like the twin killer. And right here, pretty routine with this. Weeks pretty much able to get the ball. Pennington gets to him right there. Little breaking ball, fastball for the base hit the first time, and right here he knows it's going to be a double play. All you can do is put your head down and run.
Markakis batting 2 outs and the base is empty. And he takes ball one. Markakis doubled his first at bat, a hard smash right down the line. So Nick now has a 4-game hitting streak with his double here today. And he looks it over low.
Wasn't it Jack Brickhouse who did the Cubs for years after years? 6 to 4 to 3, as pretty as she could be. I'm not sure Brandon McCarthy's thinking that.
Well, he got Hardy to pull that ball as it was sailing outside. Twice Sandino was put in motion, and he tried to go to the right side and fouled it off, but that time he pulled it and went right to the shortstop.
Got him to roll over.
There's Robert on the bench. So 3-0 on Markakis with the bases empty. And there's a strike.
Well, again, we talked about the fact that this is his 18th start and he's yet to walk 3 people, 2 or less. He's got himself a 2-0 lead. Fastball outside middle. That's where Suzuki's sitting. They don't get the call. There's a walk, so a free pass, a rare one.
So a 2-out walk. Markakis on Fanzoria Park, the perfect setting for your next group outing. Gather up your family and friends, co-workers, or colleagues and enjoy a fun-filled night of Orioles baseball. With discounted ticket prices for groups as small as 15 fans and party facilities to fit groups up to 1,000 fans, Camden Yards can make your group outing an experience you'll never forget. For all the details, 888-848-BIRD or just get online, Orioles.com/groups.
Number 10, Adam Jones.
First walk in the game brings Jones up as the potential tying run. And this pitch for a strike. You know, the superstitions do really resonate throughout the organization. I remember one year, maybe 5-6 years ago, the Orioles were trying to snap out of a losing streak, and I put the Crow on the radio pregame show, talk about the hitting, and there's another strike, and the Orioles won that night to break the losing streak. So the next day he sees me, goes, "Hey, who's on your show?" I said, "Okay, I'll bite, put him on." Orioles went on a 5-game winning streak. He led the league in radio show pregame shows because he was on every single day until they lost. I wasn't going to chance it. Foul.
Might have been a good guy to talk to today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's always a good thing to talk to Terry Crowley because he is the king of swing.
Markakis at first with 2 down. Jones a sac fly for an RBI, his first plate appearance. And a ground ball to second. Weeks is there. He will flip to Pennington to get one back. And a walk and 1 left. Orioles can't score mid-third. 4-2 Oakland. Winner is Mike Meeker of Towson. Mike wins 4 3-day passes to the Baltimore Grand Prix. The streets of Baltimore at 180 miles per hour. Baltimore Grand Prix, September 2nd through the 4th.
I've already experienced that. Rick Dempsey picked me up and gave me a ride to the ballpark. I thought it was kind of a preliminary Grand Prix race.
See, they have all the cement walls up.
Well, yeah, the Emperor was able to avoid those on the careening way down Lombard Street. Now I know why I shook them off. Just one ride to the ballpark reinforced it. Ever drove with Rick?
Actually,
he
yes.
may be in that race.
Yeah.
What was it, early September?
Yes, Labor Day weekend when the Orioles are in Tampa. Willingham swings and misses quickly 0-2. Yeah, sometimes we have breakfast before O's Extra, and occasionally he'll drive. But now that I've heard that story, I'm going to have to reconsider. Maybe I'll offer to drive. 0-2 is outside.
Well, depends how many cups of coffee you have.
Which, by the way, I'm down a couple. Just don't tell Dawn. 1-2 on Willingham, leading off in the third. Simone trying to settle down here. 3 in the first and 1 in the second after the Orioles got him a 2-0 lead. And this is down and in.
Yeah, sometimes what you have to do, and it's hard to do when hitters actually walks up, especially a guy with 20 home runs. You got to stay over the pitching rubber, and you got to say, okay, if I'm going to miss, instead of missing up, I'm going to miss down.
Bouncer towards third is foul.
But again, when you start spinning, and that's what he's doing this afternoon, they see the ball a little bit better. Has a tendency, you get under your breaking stuff, your fastball flattens out, and that's been the story for Alfredo Simone this afternoon. And that's 3 straight games. You know that the Tigers can hit. You know that Toronto can bash. And you know, if you've looked at the numbers, that the A's, again, are one of the best offensive teams since the All-Star break. Collectively, they're, 11th in runs.
And he's facing Willingham here, leading off in the third.
And you know, he's a middle of the plate, high ball hitter. That's what he's going to be looking for. Not afraid to strike out. 110 of those.
But despite that, he still has a very good batting eye. He may swing and miss, but
well, what he's been able to do for him is hit home runs and, over 300 runners in scoring position. He's a presence in your lineup. And we saw that when he played for the Nationals. You would think he'd be a guy that, depending on your ball club, would be perfect designated hitter. He can also play the outfield.
3-2 is a called strike 3. Willingham thought he had ball 4. He was starting to go down to first base, and Bellino rings him up.
Yeah, he's going to take off his shin guards and everything to try to work Dan Bellino. And right there, borderline pitch right at the knees. This will give you the better vantage point. See ya.
Great job by Tatum framing.
Number 31.
Well, that's what your job is behind the plate. Craig Tatum doesn't do a very good job of that.
First time in this game, Simone gets the leadoff hitter with an assist from his catcher. Willingham doesn't agree, and here is Brandon Allen, and a bouncer foul.
Well, I'm looking yesterday. Ivan Nova won his 12th game. He wins his 12th game. He pitches 5 1/3 innings, gives up 9 hits and 7 runs.
Pearson Birkin down in the bullpen had some difficulty with that ball, and his teammates are getting a kick out of it.
Yeah, but he was a former high school quarterback. Used to be taking a shot right here.
Whoa, it hit him right in the face. Allen is center field, chasing Jones back, still going back, and it's off the wall, and it bounces over his head. Allen is heading towards third, and Adam drops the ball. Allen's being sent. Here's the throw back towards the plate, and it's an inside the park home run.
Well, that's going to be a triple with an error, but either way, he scores to make it 5-2. We saw last night he hit a ball over the bag, legged it into a triple. This kid, he had 24 home runs and 380 at-bats in the minor leagues. Right here, just a slider again in the middle of the plate, so he bashes it. So right here, off the wall, over your head, and right here is the error. If you pick it up, it's going to be a triple. If you drop it, it's going to be an inside the park home run or a triple with an error to give him 4 bases. And watch this kid run. And he looks pretty agile. And right there, you can see right there, Gallegos sending him in. So good coaching, good hitting.
And the official score has ruled triple E8. So it is 5-2.
So back-to-back triples in 2 nights for the power hitter.
Ryan Sweeney 1-1 the count. There's a strike in the outside corner.
So you got the, yeah, you
can't get a clean inning.
No, well, and he can. He's not getting a lot of help from his outfield, which is, you know, Adam again, 13 assists. Real good last night. Reimold runs by one.
Bouncer wide at first. Simone will have to get over, and he does. And there's the second out.
So the error by Reimold, that was a run, and right there's another one. Doesn't take much. And again, your inability, they've scored under 4 runs a game. And you give up over 5, and it looks like they're trending towards that number, and that's why they're, you know, the Orioles again on the road, the number not where you want it to be. Only 18 wins, 38 losses. I think that's what they are.
Yep. Strike one to Cliff Pennington. Already 6 hits in this game for the Athletics. Simone has also walked a batter and hit a batter.
Yeah, the only team with right around the same record, and of course it's the worst team in baseball, the Houston Astros. They are 19-43 on the road.
Down and in, 1-2. Simone faced 7 batters in the first, 5 in the second, and here's his 4th in the third.
Well, what's undone him in the other starts are, again, 11 hits in his last one, 10 in the previous game, is the pitch count. He was so efficient, 7 innings, 106 pitches, 3 starts ago in Kansas City, 4-hitter, only 1 run. Good young hitting team. And then 97 and 5 2/3 against the Blue Jays, and then 97 and 4 2/3 against Detroit.
Pennington grounded out his first at bat, a ball and 2 strikes on him. And a high fly ball to center field. Jones has this one measured. And he puts it away. But the Athletics get another run on the triple and the error by Jones. We'll head to the 4th. Athletics now with a 5-2 lead. Orioles Baseball on Masson is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And by Nissan's Bottom Line Sales Event. Tremendous selections, great offers, bottom line savings. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer. Lovely day in the San Francisco Bay Area as the Orioles battle here in Oakland. And trailing by 3. Oriole fan here with the cartoon bird hat. Guerrero, Reynolds, Reimold in the fourth, and a swing and a miss.
A little bit better day to have the neon signage behind home plate than last night, don't you think? Oriole fan with, in fact, 2 Oriole fans with billboards.
Bouncer right back to McCarthy. Guerrero's retired and one away here in the fourth. Today's minor league report brought to you by PNC for the Achiever in you. And let's head down to Bowie. Buck Britton, Zach's older brother, over the last 10 games, hitting at .343 with a home run, 8 RBIs, and 3 doubles. And his brother Zach last night pitched very well for AAA Norfolk, 5 innings, just 1 run. He soon may be back with the team. So Buck having a good year at the plate.
It's a big league name, Buck Britton.
On the last homestand, Bowie had a day off, and he came to the ballpark and got some work in with Willie Randolph out there around second base. And he took BP with the Orioles on the field, so that was nice for him. Hard hit ball, base hit to center field for Mark Reynolds. And Reynolds is 1 out of 2, and he's on with 1 down here in the fourth.
Well, the great thing about having your minor league teams, especially Frederick and Bowie, is that Buck Showalter on off days, you would think with your family in town, you might take the day off. He goes down, watches them play. Of course, if you're Buck Britton, nice to have your manager's name, Buck.
Yeah, easy for you to remember. Nolan Reimold. Reynolds on at first. And a broken back ground ball foul. So he'll get a new bat. Fans get maximum access to exclusive Orioles interviews, plus special behind-the-scenes content available only through social media. Be the first to know when you like Masson on Facebook at facebook.com/MassonOrioles. It's content you just can't miss. Reynolds with that base hit has now hit 3 in a row, so we're hitting each game in the series. He's running. Reimold takes, throw to second base, and out at second base is Mark Reynolds.
Yep. Then down by 3 runs, you better make it. Not much of a jump. Good throw and catcher, around 27-28%. And again, nice tag by Weeks, because he gets out there, watch him receive the ball, drop the glove, you're out. Boy, all the middle infielders that could do that. Close plays usually goes your way if you can just somehow, on a good throw, get the glove down.
When Reimold pops it up, shallow center, here comes Coco Crisp, and he's got it. So a 1-out single, but none left. Mid-4th in Oakland. Simone back to work, trailing by 3. Lead off in the bottom of the 4th, and today's Cold Hard Blast brought to you by Frostproof Coors Light. His first at bat in the 2nd inning. Bell tie out over the plate, and he didn't miss it. It carried out of here for a home run, his 11th on the year.
Yeah, career highs of what, 13 and 15, Jim. So again, he got behind him. It wasn't much, but so many times in my career, a guy kind of has an idea of what he wants to do, and then you get behind him, and hitters get a lot smarter. You can look for your pitch, which he did, and do some damage.
Simone has allowed runs in all 3 innings. Suzuki, Sizemore, and Weeks coming up here in the 4th. All 1 low. Ball 2. Jim, you mentioned the base hits and the frequency that Simone has been giving them up as of late, and it's actually a team problem, especially since the All-Star break. As pop foul, the Orioles have allowed 10 or more base hits in 3 straight games and in 6 of the last 7. And since the All-Star break, the Orioles have allowed 10 or more hits in 21 of the 32 games.
Yeah, even in the last 12 wins, 5 of those they've given up 10 or more hits. So even when they win. But again, it sounds like I'm piling on here, but when you do have the worst pitching in the American League, and it's unfortunate, it's what happens. You don't command your stuff. You don't make good pitches. Not like they're not telling you how to get these guys out. They just can't execute.
Strike. Suzuki thought he had ball 4. He started going down to first base.
Yeah. It's been an afternoon of get that shin protector off in a hurry, and then all of a sudden Dan Bellino says,
Wow.
It's somewhere around the corner.
See, what Oakland has to do is they have to do like Markakis did. Close pitch, he just stood there until they said take first base. High fly ball left center. Easy play for Adam Jones. And one away here in the 4th inning. This day baseball history brought to you by Verizon Fios. Switch to Fios and network ahead. To learn more, visit Verizon.com/getFios. In 1894, Louisville pitcher John Wadsworth set the single-game National League record. He allowed 28 singles. Speaking of base hits, 1973, Willie Mays hit the last home run in his career. That was number 660 as Sizemore fouls off. And then in 1999, Orioles reliever Jesse Orozco appeared in his 1,072nd Major League game to set a new record, breaking the old record set by your friend the Eck.
Dennis Eckersley.
And the Orioles honored Jesse with a plaque, which is still in the Oriole bullpen at home. Dennis Eckersley showed up to bring him the plaque.
Oh, well, very nice. Talking Monday night, his wife Jennifer Eckersley texted me. They said there's a statue of Eck somewhere here. And I asked the clubhouse boys, and they said, no, I think it's a plaque. So I texted her back. She says, well, it's somewhere there. I said, well, Eck, terrific, starting pitcher early on. First came up, he came up with the Indians. 20 games for the Red Sox. This is a breaking ball, right down the chute, drop down.
Back-to-back outs.
And again, it's right down the middle, so he did make a great pitch. Watch this pitch. I mean, it's pretty much hangs right in the middle of the plate, but the confusion factor. Good fastball hitter. That's what Sizemore is. He just freezes on the hanging curveball right down the middle of the plate.
Jemile Weeks takes inside.
Scrappy little fella.
Yeah, he looks bothered by someone going inside to him.
Well, again, he started him away. He started off this game, fastball away, just pinged it in the left. Knocked the bat out of his hand. He hadn't hit a home run this year. Show me, of course, you have to be able to command your inside fastball, which is, of course, any command's been a problem, but tell me you can pull the ball. I know you like it away. I know you like the soft stuff because I sat there for 2 games and watched you hit that way. I had a chance. There's a splitter. I've had a chance to watch film. We used to have to sit on the bench. You'd come out early, watch guys take batting practice. Remember Steve Whitaker came up with the Yankees? A lot of home runs in the minor leagues. I watched him take batting practice. Couldn't hit a high fastball in batting practice. Oh, there you go.
Base hit down the line. Jemile Weeks can fly. Markakis is digging it out. Weeks is going to go towards third, and he will have a stand-up triple with 2 down.
Well, he's trying to catch Curtis and Granderson with 9 triples leading the American League. There's number 8. And again, that wasn't in. It's just down the middle. He sees a bunch of stuff. Again, when you open up, and this is what he does. This is why he was their number 1 draft choice. Exciting young player. Great personality. And they'll like that personality even better if he keeps getting on base. Yep.
He's been on base all 3 times in this game. He's got 2 hits, and he was hit by a pitch. So now Simone needs to get a big out to prevent another run from coming in, as Weeks is at third with 2 down. Coco Crisp, switch hitter batting left. And right to Reynolds at first, and that'll end the inning. So the 2-out triple doesn't hurt. And 1 left. We'll head to the 5th. Birds need some runs, trailing 5-2. Orioles Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. Oakland Bay Bridge connecting San Francisco and Oakland. 5-2 Athletics lead. As we go to the 5th, Josh Bell will lead off against Brandon McCarthy. Josh has hit 2 straight games, and he's got 4 ribbies in the last 2 games. Ball 1 inside.
I think when you're manager, and again we talk about young players and getting an opportunity to play because of Chris Davis's right shoulder problem. I see Louis Yoakum, well-known orthopedist out in California. But when you're a manager, when you like kind of at bats a young player's having, and for Josh Bell, always switch hitter with power, strikes out probably too much, but he says you're grinding out the at bats. All of a sudden, getting an opportunity and pressing your manager. But again, part of this game up here is that the advanced reports will be okay. We've been hitting some fastballs. Let's try to get him out with something other than that. A little nervous. Dan Bellino looked like he was going to call him out. That's the way the game ended last night. On a ball that looked like it was out over the plate and a little bit outside.
2-2 on Bell. And he got it.
Yep. Little change up, curveball, something off it. And this is what pitching's all about. You get to see him play on Monday and Tuesday. He gets 4 RBIs, and you just pull the string. And right there, I mean, it's almost like it's an emergency hack to try to foul it off and get a better pitch to hit. Couldn't do it.
Here's Craig Tatum. Bounced out to third his first at bat. First ball swinging, high fly ball to center. Coco Crisp is there. Tatum's out, 2 down in the 5th. Well, your favorite birds are back with their favorite dogs and cats in the 2012 Orioles Pet Calendar presented by Southwest Airlines. Pick up your 15-month calendar featuring your favorite O's like Nick Markakis, Adam Jones, and Matt Wieters. Proceeds benefit Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. To get your 2012 Pet Calendar, 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. And there's the skipper with his dogs.
The Bloodhounds. Buck and the Bloodhounds.
It's
sounds like a group.
Good to help those dogs that need some help.
Oh, yeah.
All the proceeds. Rescue dogs. We have 2 at our house.
Do you?
Yep. Bobby and Sadie, both rescue dogs. And Dino batting, 2 outs and none on. Robert in the leadoff spot today facing Brandon McCarthy, who was trying to even his record at 6-6. McCarthy doesn't allow a lot of home runs, period, just 5 on the year, but he has yielded only 1 all season to a right-handed batter. Adrian Beltre of Texas hit a solo home run off, and that's the only right-hander to take him deep all year.
And that was in 211 at-bats coming into the game. Goodbye.
And Dino doesn't like the call. Bellino all of a sudden a generous strike zone, so 3 up, 3 down go the Orioles. Mid-5th, 5-2 A's. Tomorrow's day off. More O's action. Game 1 of the 3-game series in Anaheim against the Angels. It'll be JoJo Reyes on the mound against Dan Herron. Coverage on MASN 2 HD begins at 9:30 with O's Extra presented by Verizon Wireless. And then game coverage at 10 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN. Well, the Orioles 2-1 this season. The LA run differential is +10, so the Orioles looking to bounce back there. Vernon Wells, 4 for 14, 2 home runs and 6 RBIs, and Dan Herron having a good year, 12 wins and 2 shutouts.
Yeah, because he's Dan Herron, and he can pitch. But when you go down to Los Angeles, at Anaheim, in Orange County, close to Costa Mesa, basically you're going to get the best pitching in the American League. So get the bats going.
Matsui takes ball 1.
But the Angels are playing tonight and then tomorrow. Series against the Rangers. They've lost the first 2.
We should go to the game.
No, we should.
Scout.
No, that's why they have television, Jimbo. That's what we do, Massive. Don't miss it.
Why do we go to the game? Sit in the stands, have a hot dog?
I knew there was a reason.
It's like 2-1. Don't think I didn't notice that hot dog you had last night.
I got to have it. Today I had one. It was breakfast.
That was your breakfast hot dog?
That was breakfast.
That was the first thing you had all day?
Yeah. I'm on Weight Watchers. Richie Van Zell's the Oriole trainer. Richie has lost 22 pounds since January 1st.
Wow.
Gave me a tutorial in the training room today.
It's Richie, the
long time.
new member of the Oriole Hall of Fame.
Yeah, 29th year. A thin man.
Bouncer to first. Reynolds is there. He'll go to the bag unassisted to get Matsui. Fans, the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report returns tomorrow at 5:30 on MASN. You get all the latest news from around the world of baseball. Join Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, and Phil Wood. They're talking Orioles, they're talking Nationals, they're talking everything Major League Baseball. 5:30 here on MASN, the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. Well, Simone gets the first out. Foul off the bat of Willingham. The Athletics certainly are happy with the lead, but they really have to feel as if they should have blown this game open already. They had a man stranded at third to end the first after scoring 3 runs. Then they had the home run, a double and a hit batsman with nobody down in the second, and then the line drive double play hurt them. They did score with their only base runner in the third, but then they got a 2-out triple in the fourth, so they've stranded 3 runners in this game in scoring position.
Well, and again, the Orioles can come back if they can do it against the 4th best pitching team in the American League, and in a huge ballpark on the road where they don't score. They average less than 4 runs a game. So again, Rick Dempsey was talking about it. It's one of those games where you really have to grind it out. Who wants it the most? The game ended. I bet the team got back a little bit before midnight. They're on a 9 o'clock bus. Some guys came out earlier. It's the difference.
Last night was a pack and sleep.
Yep, it was, and that's big league ball. And as Buck Showalter said day in and day out, when they got off to the 6-1 start, he said, I played on teams that have started 6-1 and lost 96 games, and I've started on managed teams that started out 1-6 and won 96 games. How you play these games, it makes such a big difference.
Strike 3 called. Willingham fooled by the pitch.
Now, the one thing about Alfredo against the Toronto and Tigers, he would do this early in the count. This time today, 2 breaking balls, both hangers, but again the confusion factor fools both the Willingham and also got Scott Sizemore in the last inning.
Well, 2 down. Simone again trying to get a 3-up 3-down inning, which he has not been able to do yet. Here's Brandon Allen. And there's a pitch that pops out of the glove of Tatum.
His pitch count now at 77, so the most he's thrown is 106. He wants to maybe pitch into the 7th inning. See that maybe the Oriole bats can get going.
His last win was on August the 2nd, that game Jim talked about in Kansas City, where he was fabulous. Outstanding command. 1 run on 4 hits over 7 innings. Foul tip, foul ball.
Well, and what Buck Showalter was so amazed is how he maintained his stuff deep into the game. Still throwing 95. That pitch right there, 96. Into the 7th inning on a night where it was about 105 degrees.
Three and 1 on Brandon Allen. It's interesting that when Simone was struggling early on in this game, Brad Bergeson did not get up. It was Troy Patton who pitched in the game last night. And part of that might be, we'll have to find out later, but Buck said before the game with Jeremy Guthrie being bothered by a tight shoulder, he said we're going to have to wait and see how we get through today to line up the pitching if Jeremy can't go over the weekend. So maybe he resisted getting Bergeson up in case he needs him in Anaheim.
Well, that's a possibility. I mean, another option would have been Jason Birkin, but then again, when you have a right-handed starter, a lot of times you get that lefty up, and Patton, he can pitch multiple innings.
3-2 is bounce foul.
Ty Waller snaring him.
Alfredo battling here, looking for his first 3-up 3-down inning, get the Orioles back to the plate. The Orioles hit 2 home runs in winning the opener. They have not homered since. Not foul. Alfredo this year is 0-3 against the AL East. He is 0-2 against the AL West. And all 3 of his wins have come against the AL Central. Count holding 3-2 on Brandon Allen. Batting here in the Oakland 5th with 2 outs and none on. And another foul ball. And he is about to see the 9th pitch of this at bat.
Well, again, for a power hitter that strikes out a lot, 380 at bats. Brandon Allen had hit 24 home runs. Struck out about, I think, 118 times. Pretty disciplined hitter. We saw 4 straight curveballs last night. Looked bad on the first 2. Ended up hitting that triple on the 4th one. Covers the outside part of the plate. And he can run. And he looks like a pretty good first baseman.
And he got ahead 3-1. He's now fouled off 5 in a row. So this will be the 10th pitch in the at-bat coming. And another foul ball. It's got to be terribly frustrating for Alfredo Simon because Allen can't put it in play. Alfredo can't put him away.
Well, yeah, and he doesn't want to walk him, and because it's 3-2, and he really, other than maybe an occasional good splitter, he hasn't had a good curveball. He's had the drop-down curveball that he hung, but he got 2 strikeouts on it. Again, just lower the ball a little bit. And that's the great thing about throwing 3-4 fastballs. Just lower your sights a little bit. Get the fly ball down and away. He gets around, and it's another walk.
So an 11 pitch at bat, and there's the second walk. It comes with 2 down. The Orioles' upcoming schedule presented by Xfinity. Catch all the action with Xfinity, only from Comcast. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Get Xfinity today by calling 1-800-XFINITY. A day off tomorrow. The night games Friday and Saturday against the Angels. 10 o'clock on Friday night, 9 o'clock on Saturday. Then the day game on Sunday. And then the Orioles will fly to Minnesota for the 3rd stop on this road trip. 4 games in Minnesota. It all begins Monday night.
We get a chance to reconnect with Jim Thome, who connected for home run 599 and 600. So congratulations to him. One of 600 home run guys. It's a lot of home runs. And in true fashion, it hit them to left field.
So Brad Bergeson. So much for my theory. Get loose. Brad might be asked to pitch the rest of this game. So Simone fell behind Allen 3-1. Then it was an 11 pitch at bat where he finally threw ball 4. The 3 up 3 down inning continues to elude him. Sweeney is 0 for 2.
You can see does not hit for power, but high on base percentage, high average.
Fly ball to right, chasing Markakis, but he'll get there, and on the warning track puts it away. So the Athletics failed to score. 2nd straight inning. Simone has held them off the board. We'll head to the 6th, where the Athletics leading it 5-2. Your group and enjoy Oriole Park's newest fan destination, the Miller Lite Flight Deck. For a low price, you'll enjoy a fun, casual atmosphere, bar-like seating, and great view of the game. And everyone in the group receives a food and beverage voucher to use throughout the ballpark. For more on the Miller Lite Flight Deck, 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. Showalter over to talk to Alfredo Simon. Either checking on how he is or telling him your day is done. We'll see.
Well, he did show his heart because, again, he did not have his best stuff, didn't have his best command. Outfield played a couple of balls into runs. Yet he did get through 5. So you want to do a little bit better than that. But you never know. Let's get some runs here. At least get back in the game. I mean, the one thing Bob Melvin took over for Bob Guerin as the skipper of the A's said, I'm a little bit vulnerable in the 6th and 7th innings. So let's see that. The only way you can do that is get Brandon McCarthy, who's been cruising along 70 pitches now for the first 15 outs.
Hardy, Markakis, and Jones here in the 6th inning. Strike taken. Well, the highest run support since July the 9th, and Brandon McCarthy 7.34, third best in the American League, trailing only Lackey and Holland.
And his record 4-1 since then. So he's pitched well and been well supported.
Hardy towards second, Weeks gloves, drops the ball, picks it up, fires, and still gets him.
Yep. One thing J.J. Hardy can't do is run well. So again, ball hit sharply, catches it right there, little routine, kicks it, and still has time.
Number 21, Markakis.
Yeah, he's just kind of cruising along there. And probably the difference is just, again, I don't care how long you play, and we've all done this, where you just assume something. The assumption there was going to be a routine play, and Weeks turned it into an out. But on the other hand, but again, as you mentioned, struggling and probably needed a day's rest. We'll get that tomorrow.
Albert Andino trying to pump him up over there.
Well, when you don't run and a guy misplays the ball, that's when you look bad. That's just, nothing. I mean, having a terrific year. It's just a lesson to be learned.
And again, as we were talking about last night, you should do it every time, regardless.
Yeah, but again, the play's in front of you. I'm not making excuses because the play's in front of you. You think he's going to catch it. You see that he's caught it, and then he drops it, and you don't look as good as you'd like to. And when John Stearns, Joe Torre told me a story when Joe managed the Mets. John Stearns used to say, who was a catcher and would go on to coach, and I think he managed for a short time. He says, why don't you get these guys to run hard? You're telling Joe Torre this. Well, one day he hits a pop-up with 2 outs into short right field, and he just puts his head down, and guy drops it, and he's standing at first base, and next day he comes in with a couple $100 bill and puts it down on the desk. He said, I'm sorry, Skip, for yesterday. And he said, nope. Just want you to live with your conscience.
Markakis right field and deep. Back it goes. It is gone for Markakis. So the Orioles chipping back in. It's now a 5-3 game as Markakis hits his 13th.
Well, now you're getting back up to where we thought he was going to be in the 20 zone. So right there, only the 6th home run that Brandon McCarthy has thrown. So 3-2, you don't want to walk anybody. This is a consequence. Inside middle, take a little bit off to throw a strike, and it sails out of here. So again, you can hit it really to the right, down the right field line of the 362 and to the left of the 362 and left center, and you got a chance to hit home runs.
So it is 5-3, still only 1 down, and here's Adam Jones. Adam has an RBI with a sac fly. He's also bounced into a force play.
You can see the home run is not affecting the game plan of Brandon McCarthy. It was 3-2. You take a little bit off. It just happens.
Jones towards shortstop. There's Pennington. And Adams retired for the second out. Time for our Suzuki Game Flow Autos all-wheel drive lineup. Suzuki, the power of engineering. Well, the flow of this game really over the first 3 innings as Alfredo Simon allowed 5 runs and hurt by a couple of balls in the outfield. One that Nolan Reimold misjudged. It sailed over his head for a 2-run double, and one that Adam Jones bobbled on a ball off the wall that went for a triple and an error. And all the way around the bases went Brandon Allen. Guerrero is 1 out of 2. As his bat is heating up. Vladdy's now got a 6-game hitting streak. And he's got 9 hits and 7 RBIs in those games.
Yeah, he's gone through a streak where you haven't seen a lot of power pitches that can run the ball up and in under his hands. And again, at his age, with diminished bat speed, lobs the ball out over the plate. Much more effective hitting that pitch. See right there, that curveball stayed up, and one of the few hooks that McCarthy's hung all afternoon. And he had a good hack at it.
The count only going 2 on Guerrero, batting with 2 outs and the bases empty. And a bouncer towards second. Weeks charges to play the hop. They'll get Guerrero on the inning edge, but the Orioles get one back as Nick Markakis on a 3-2 pitch. That's number 13 for Nick, and it's a 2-run game in Oakland. Light 6th inning. Now it's time for the Coors Light freeze cam, and we'll go back to the 3rd. Brandon Allen with the drive to center field. Adam Jones got too close to the wall, then had to run it down, and as he did, he bobbled the ball, and Brandon Allen never stopped and eventually would slide in with a run. So it was ruled a triple and an error on the Coors Light freeze cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Well, Simone stays in as we go to the 6th, and there's a fastball outside.
Well, again, pitch count reasonable, as he mostly thrown in that Kansas City game. 106, 91 pitches. So what does he usually average? About 16.5 pitches per inning. McCarthy gives you an idea what the ground ball will do. He's at 15. It's really, I mean, if you're going to average 15 and 16, that's an inning difference between.
This is outside. Well, an 11 pitch at bat to Brandon Allen last inning. He was 3-1 after 4 pitches. Might have been better off just to put him on, save 6 pitches. There's a strike in the inside corner.
Now you're thinking like a pitcher. Yeah, but after you go through one of those at bats, you go, you know, I should have just gone to my mouth for ball 4 about 5 pitches ago.
I've been hanging around you a couple of days ago. rubbing off.
That's a good thing.
Here's the 2-2. Get towards second base. Andino. And Pennington is retired for the first out here in the 6th inning.
Well, again, you're down by 2, and boy, we were always taught this. You know, it's a process, one hitter at a time. You struggle all afternoon. You haven't gotten a lot of breaks. You can see right here. I mean, amazing. They get 3 runs early on in the first, but only 19 pitches. So again, the ability to maybe, you know, get a couple more outs. Probably be his last inning is again actually in the Oriole bullpen and have a chance to win this game. If you can get through this inning.
Kurt Suzuki left field and deep. Raimo back, and he'll watch that one go. Suzuki has a 2-home run game, and the Orioles get the run in the top half, and the Athletics get it right back in the bottom half.
Yep, another bomb. There you go, number 12. So career high 15. You know, and I'm wondering, I'm doing the lineup today, and I'm thinking, well, Landon Powell, switch hitting catcher. There's a hanging breaking ball, so he tricked a couple of guys, but this time it hangs up, and Suzuki, high fastball early on for a home run, hanger for another one. I'm going, why is he playing him? Now we know why. So Bob Melvin, a former catcher, now skipper of the A's, dials in Suzuki. He dials 2 off of Simone.
Simone will leave after 5 1/3. Bergeson coming on here in the 6th. Well, Brad Bergeson comes on and deals quickly to Scott Sizemore. Berge on a relief.
Yeah, his last game was in the Tillman game where he got knocked out early against the White Sox. Came in, pitched 4 1/3 innings and did a terrific job. So Alfredo, tough afternoon. He throws up a couple of home runs. Defense doesn't play well in the outfield behind him. Pretty much a struggle from the get-go.
Sizemore's 1 out of 2. Fouls it back. Ferguson gets ahead.
Well, you can see how Scott Sizemore loves to hit the fastball. He's one of those guys, very much Willie Randolph, now the Orioles' third base coach. Earl Weaver was not a fan. He respected him as a player, but first ball fastball hitter. Don't ever throw him that pitch. You should make a good one.
2-2 on Sizemore, batting with 1 out and the base is empty. And there's a line drive for a base hit to right field. Markakis running it down, slicing away from Nick. Sizemore's heading to second with a double. So, Jen, that was a real good point you made earlier about how they just hit it where it's pitched. I mean, and if you do that, you're going to get a lot of base hits or have the chance to get base hits.
Well, you do it everywhere.
Slicing.
Yeah, they've sliced balls throughout this series. And again, you know, Gerald Perry's their hitting instructor. You know, you try to get everybody on board. It's a big ballpark. It's a great place to pitch, tough to hit, especially if you hit fly balls. You know, which obviously there is, Gerald. If you get, you know, a guy like Jamal Weeks coming to the plate, every time he hits a ball in the air, it's pretty much going to be an out. So he's got to bunt, he's got to slash the ball, and we've seen him do that.
1-0 on Weeks. There's a strike.
Funny, you read all the scouting reports about Jamal Weeks, and you say, well, it reminds you of Ray Durham, who had a terrific career. Switch hitter, played for the Giants, played for the White Sox, a number of teams. I'm not sure he's ever going to have that kind of power. Of course, his brother, a whole different type of guy, much bigger and stronger. I said, how big's your brother? He said, about 220 pounds.
There's a bouncer wide of first. Reynolds has it, races on. Bergeson quickly gets over. And Jamal Weeks retired for the second out with Sizemore moving to third. Well, it's time now for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. The Orioles have won a total of 59 Gold Gloves in franchise history. Adam Jones was the last in 2009. That total is the second most in American League history, trailing only the Yankees, who have had 63 Gold Glove winners.
Yeah, Jonesy said, I didn't know you won 4 Gold Gloves. I said, well, I know you won 1. So there you go. Then he asked me how I did it. I said, well, Jim Cott went to the National League. That's how I did it. He won 16 in a row, as did Brooks Robinson. Brooks the third, he caught it. I was trying to, Nolan Rimo sitting there. And, the typical love-hate relationship conversations I have with Adam. He gets on me, I get on him. But Cott, Jim Cott, of course, he will get in the Hall of Fame at some point. 286 wins, I believe, but he was as good a fielding pitcher I ever seen. I remember when I was a kid, Bobby Shantz came up. He could pick it with the Yankees. Balls didn't get by him.
Yeah, there's a bouncer towards the hole, and Dino far to get it and gets the out. Nicely done. So the double doesn't hurt, but the Athletics get another run on the Suzuki home run. We'll head to the 7th. Once again, a 3-run game. Leaders is brought to you by Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Action-packed table games and red-hot slots await. Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Well, home runs in the American League. Mark Reynolds now with 27, as Reynolds is tied for 4th with Paul Konerko. And also on that list, a little bit lower, we ran out of room, is J.J. Hardy's tied for 9th. And here is Mr. Reynolds. It's 1 out of 2. First ball swinging, fouls it back. He's now hit 3 in a row. Biggest single his last at bat. And a bouncer foul. The Orioles in the first game on Monday scored 6 runs on only 7 hits. Last night 4 runs on 8 hits. And today they've been held to 6 hits by McCarthy.
And 2 of those came in the first. He was able to strike out Mark Reynolds and get out of that inning. Both of the respective pitchers giving up, what, 5 runs. McCarthy 2 and Simone 3, all in the first inning. So we talk about how difficult it is to make the transition from the bullpen to the main mound and try to get guys out. Today is a pretty good illustration of that. Nobody yet up in their bullpen.
The Athletics homestand continues tomorrow. They open up a 4-game series with the Blue Jays, who will be here. Toronto's in Seattle tonight. High fly ball towards the gap in left center field. That ball gets down for a base hit and bounces against the wall. And Reynolds is going to cruise to second with a leadoff double.
Well, you love to see that because you're trailing by 3, and then also one of the few curve balls he gets on the inner half, and Mark Reynolds isn't going to miss it. Again, 6-7, maybe outside middle. He stays up just enough, and you see the strength. Bat head through the zone and just rips it. Coco Crisp can't run it down until it hops a couple of times.
So Reynolds has a 2-hit game. His 20th multi-hit effort. Here's Reimold. Reimold would really feel a lot better about things if he could hit one out here.
Well, he'd feel a lot better if he did. You know, it sounds just critical. It just seems like he's in between pitches, and when he does have good swings, we saw it a couple times last night, or on that pitch, 91 in the middle of the plate. If you're going to get your hits, you can't miss those pitches, and he's going through one of those stretches. You know, we're trying to work on his timing. Watch his front foot, trying to get it down a little bit quicker. We've gone to a high leg kick, and now there it is again, and he just can't time it. Just appears he's going through one of those stretches, a young hitter, where instead of looking for a pitch, either soft or hard, in or out, he's trying to hit everything from the first pitch, and it's just not working. It is very difficult to hit with 2 strikes. And Jim Presley looking on, hoping, boy, just anything. Broken bat hit. Get on the board somewhere.
Lays off the high fastball. He is 0 for 2 today, 0 for 11 in the series, and just 3 for his last 19. He's got Reynolds at second base.
And he can't stay closed enough to hit the breaking ball away, so he just can't stay on him long enough. It's almost like you have to slow everything down and say, okay, I'm willing to get jammed, just try to stay behind a ball. Get another big swing, but just a little bit off balance.
McCarthy, 28 years old. He's got 25 big league wins. 20. He's been bothered at times this year by a stiff back as well. Doesn't appear to be bothering him today. And Reimold takes ball 2.
Well, on the disabled list with what they call a scapular problem, where you get a stress fracture, and you just get some irritation in there, and they backed him off.
From 0-2 to 2-2. Ball 3. And Suzuki's going to go out to talk to McCarthy.
He's getting tired.
Whereas Tino de los Santos.
Yeah, we saw him on Monday night. He came in and gave up a big double to Andino, and then a 2-run single. That was a 2-run double, and then a 2-run single to Josh Bell as the Orioles would storm back. Something they're trying to do. That was a 4-run inning in the 7th inning. That's how they won on Monday night.
Three and 2, a big pitch coming here. And it's inside, ball 4. So Reimold falls behind 0-2, and he works a walk, and now the tying run comes to the plate.
And it doesn't take Bob Melvin long to get out there. He's on the run. Now, this could be just about a little conversation. Again, you have to understand how good a catcher Bob Melvin was. Analytical throw, so you like to see this. You're not that Ron Romanek, his pitching coach, can't say that, but he delivered the message.
Reynolds at second, Reimold at first, and nobody down. The Orioles trying to get a rally going here, trailing by 3 in the 7th. And wouldn't this be an opportune time for your first home run of the year?
He's certainly capable of doing it. And again, 16 of them at AAA Norfolk this year. But you don't even need a home run. That would kind of be the icing. Just got to try to get a pitch to hit. And right there, chased ball 1. And again, young hitter. Relatively a 28 young pitcher as far as experience.
1-1 on Bell, 2 on, none out. And a bouncer towards the hole. Base hit to right field for Josh Bell. Reynolds is being sent. He will score. Sweeney drops the ball. No further advancement. So Josh Bell picks up yet another RBI, and here come the Birds. It is now 6-4, and runners on the corners and nobody out.
Yeah, just a little bounder, but again, you know, because of the walk, you're not holding the runner on, but it's very fast infield, so it just kind of caroms. Here comes Mark Reynolds, gets a good jump. For a big guy, home run hitter, he's got good speed. Sweeney drops it, very much like Adam Jones, except he doesn't kick it. So now the Orioles in business here in the 7th.
So McCarthy is chased, and the Orioles trying to rally back here in the 7th. De Los Santos comes on. The Birds trail by 2. Second appearance in this series. He got into the game on Monday night, and now he's asked to quiet a rally as the Orioles are back within 2 and the tying runs are on base.
Well, that's what they did on Monday night. They brought him in with the bases loaded. He was able to strike out Mark Reynolds, but then Andino hit the first pitch. 95-mile-per-hour fastball over the head of Crisp, and then Bell with a single up the middle. And all of a sudden the Orioles had a 4-run 7th inning, and that would be enough to win.
Here's Tatum. Ooh. Outside. Oh, nice play by Suzuki.
And almost the glove came off. It was so far outside. And we saw a couple of good breaking balls. That's a secondary pitch, but he also threw some like this. But that's very easily could have gone not only all the way to the backscreen, but that would have made it 6-5, and then get another runner in scoring position.
Ball 2 outside. There's Brian Fuentes, the left-hander in the bullpen. The Orioles have only one left-handed batter in the lineup. That's Markakis.
Yeah, this would have been Ziegler or would have been Joey Devine, but Devine down at AAA. Ziegler traded to Arizona.
High fly ball right field, not that deep. Reimold's going to tag anyway. Here's Sweeney. Reimold bluffs coming, and the throw comes all the way to the plate. So Tatum skies out to right, cannot advance either runner, and 1 down. Sounded like he broke his bat.
Yeah, he did. Didn't quite get all of it. That's what you're trying to do. Get a ball you can hit in the air, but hit it a little bit deeper. It's one of those, if he plays, because if Willie Randolph sends Raimo with good speed, it forces Sweeney, who made a pretty good throw, but it was a little bit offline. And if they don't cut it, you might have had a chance not only to score the 5th run, but get another runner in scoring position. It's almost one of those plays where if you're the right fielder, you'll concede that 5th run, but you don't want to do what Adam Jones did with the White Sox game, get the potential tying run or go-ahead run into scoring position.
And Dino takes a strike.
Well, you knew he wasn't going to get a fastball because he doubled as we look at the Oriole bullpen. Gonzalez, who came in, got 4 outs on Monday night, and then Troy Patton, who came in last night, gave up a couple of hits.
And Dino fights it off, 0-2.
You know what the book is, righty to righty against Robert Andino, and that's try to get him out with breaking balls.
De Los Santos was acquired from the White Sox. There's Reimold at third. Bella's at first. 0-2 on Andino. And another foul ball. He came over from the White Sox with Gio Gonzalez and Ryan Sweeney. Sweeney's playing right field today. De Los Santos is in the game, and Gio Gonzalez started the first game in this series. And that trio came for Nick Swisher, which was essentially a salary dump. They got 3 guys who are currently on their 25-man roster.
Yeah, you got a guy that did not do well in the minor leagues, A-ball and Double-A last year as a starter, and then you groom him to be exactly what he is now.
And he gets Andino. Another big out by De Los Santos and 2 down.
Well, you know, a lot of this has to do with the guy that's hit 2 home runs in his catching. Kurt Suzuki saying this is the right pitch to throw. Just give me a little bit better quality, and he does. And Robert Andino swings right over it.
Now batting, number 2, J.J.
And J.J. Hardy now will try to get a big 2-out base hit. Those are big runners out there. J.J. is 1 for 3 in the game. And there's a strike in the outside corner. They keep working him away.
Well, that's, again, maybe today moved a little bit up on the plate, but a long way from that outside corner. What does that tell you? He likes to get his arms extended. He likes the ball on the inside middle of the plate. And when you do, you're in the danger zone if you're the opposing pitcher. If you can get it out on that outside 4 to 5 inches, including the outside corner, you got a chance. Right there.
Big sweeper. And Hardy couldn't reach it.
Only 12 base hits. 26 up the middle, 57 to left. So he's a full hitter.
Outside he checked. They appeal, and Randazzo said he did check in time. So 2-2. JJ singled in the first. He has since bounced into a double play and grounded out. 2-2, and he got it. Hardy down on strikes, waves at the pitch, and what a job by De Los Santos. He comes on and squashes the rally. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Lie straight, drink responsibly.
Afternoon game, a lot of offense. Park playing a little bit smaller. That triple by Brandon Allen, a little drop and kick. Not an inside the Parker, but a triple and an error. Right there, Nick Markakis with his 13th home run of the season. And then Suzuki having a big night. Played all 3 games. Figured maybe he'd get the day off. Orioles wish that was the case. So he hits a couple of home runs. McCarthy needs to pitcher a record for the Athletics. And Simone, who started for the Orioles, a chance to now win his, or actually lose his 3rd in a row. So anybody's game. Troy Patton, who pitched last night, came in and gave up a couple of base hits. He will try to pitch, and again, it's a matter of just hung a changeup to Coco Crist. He doubled over the head of Nolan Reimold, and then a hanging slider to Hideki Matsui for an RBI single. And the score went from what 4-3 to 7-3 in a hurry.
So Patton will go to work on Matsui. Bergeson 2/3 of an inning, 1 base hit and no runs. Matsui, Willingham, and Allen will be up here in the 7th. The Athletics in this game have still not been retired. 3 up and 3 down. The Royals hanging around, trail by 2, but running out of outs. And this is 2-0.
Yeah, this is no guarantee because Hideki Matsui, he hits lefties better than righties. Hit 11 home runs, 8 of them from this side of the plate. He's about 20 points higher. So you saw last night, you don't make quality pitches, he's going to do some damage. He's a good fastball. I mean, it appears to me that if Troy Patton can command his stuff, make good pitches, he certainly could be a capable lefty. At the end of the day, can you get left-handed hitters on?
Good breaking ball there. Matsui can't get it.
Well, it was good because he missed it. He didn't quite get it down and away.
We asked Troy on the homestand, because he seems to be figuring out how to pitch in this role when he came through the minors as a starter, if he'd prefer to start. And he gave us a real honest answer as he deals to Matsui outside. He said, well, starting's nice, but to be honest with you, I'll do whatever role they want if it keeps me in the big leagues.
Yeah, and I think he's a realist.
3-2 on Matsui. Popped them up. Josh Bell charging in on it. And he's got it.
Well, this is one of the great
sky.
Yeah. This is where they patent the high sky. Nothing tougher than a pop fly in Oakland in the afternoon.
Now batting, left fielder, 16. Josh
All right.
Willingham.
Willingham now will bat with 1 out, nobody on. And there's the strike. Willingham, the big blow in this game on a ball that probably should have been an out. The hard smash that Reimold misjudged, and it sailed over his head for a 2-run double. There's a ground ball towards short. Hardy has it. And Willingham is retired, 2 away. Fans, you can entertain clients, colleagues, and more with a custom suite package at Oriole Park. Private suites are available, a variety of locations and packages, and offer your company a sophisticated, affordable way to make a statement. To find out more, visit Orioles.com/suites, or to arrange a private tour, call 410-547-6076. So J.J. Hardy makes the play, and Brandon Allen now will bat 2 outs and the base is empty. Allen has had a good series.
Is he ever?
Hit 4 in a row. He is 8 for his last 12. Acquired on July 31st.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to hang in against lefties.
misses low. 3-0 the count on Allen.
Well, I would. I'm not going to bet the ranch, but I'd be pretty aware that he might be swinging here. It's all right to throw him a fastball, just locate it well.
And he did.
He may have been got the green light just play for the A's. Go hand in hand.
Yeah, you have to take pitches here.
No, you got a green light in those uniforms. Green helmets. You get it? Let me explain it to you. Okay, now let's go back. I don't have the gold uniforms.
I'm thinking about Moneyball.
I know you're thinking about where you're going to dinner.
No, I'm not.
Not yet.
I don't know the area. I have no clue. It's the farthest thing from my mind. I'm thinking about how to get 2 runs here to tie this game.
3
to win it. That's even better. I like how you're thinking. 3-0 to a full count. Hooked foul. You gonna go see the Moneyball movie since you're a big fan of the book?
Who do we got starring in it?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. He played.
He plays Mr. Bean. Yes.
Billy Bean.
Fly ball to left. Reimold is there, and Troy Patton comes on and pitches a 3-up, 3-down inning. First time A's have gone in order. We'll head to the 8th by the Bay. Birds down by 2. In this game down by 2, and here's Grant Balfour, who is now in that 8th inning setup role. As the Birds will try to get to him. They had a real good chance in the 7th to pull even closer. There was a run in first and third and nobody out, and De Los Santos came on and got 3 in a row, and the Orioles left 2 on, including 1 stranded at third base.
Well, I think all you have to do is see Fatino De Los Santos throw, and you realize, number 1, he's got great stuff. Number 2, how a humbling game is, because he gave up, 4 runs the other night in a bases loaded situation. Tonight, or this afternoon, he comes in, does a great job. Grant Balfour, saw him come in last night. He got 4 outs. Bob Melvin was talking about it before the game. He said, I didn't want to do that. But on the other hand, we wanted to win the game. Threw the ball very well. Big overhand curveball and a well-situated 93-mile-per-hour fastball. And then I ran into him in the game. And they just had he and his wife had a child, 11 weeks old. I said, how old? She said 10. He goes, no, 11 weeks old. So he's keeping track.
Here's Nick Markakis leading off in the 8th. Jones and Guerrero to follow, so some thumpers coming up here if they can get to Balfour.
Well, part of the game, Jim, you just get a guy on and get the tying run coming to the plate.
Nick has had a good day today.
He had a good game last night. I mean, as far as hitting the ball, he drove the ball, really attacking the ball.
Markakis in the 6th inning worked the count full. And then at his 3rd home run in the last 7 games, his 13th on the year as he took Brandon McCarthy deep. Takes a strike, 1-1. Markakis now with 34 extra base hits on the year. He's got a double today as well. And he takes high.
Right, a little bit different game than last night because of the scoreboard. So, again, more pressure. And again, it's not only for Grant Balfour, but also Dan Bellino, the home plate umpire. Time in the game where you really have to be consistent. The strike zone shouldn't change just because it's in the 8th inning.
Balfour has found a home here in Oakland. He was one of the relievers that vacated Tampa Bay after last year as a free agent.
Well, an 0.67 ERA here, and then you get him on the road, it goes almost up to 4 runs a game. So very comfortable pitching here for 57 games last year.
And Markakis takes high.
Well, that's why, you know, when Nick is hitting well, and he's at that point of the season, just spoiling that 2-2 fastball gets him to a 3-2 count.
Athletics signed him to a 2-year contract worth just over $8 million. 3-2 is bounced to first. Tough hop there played by Allen. And he goes to the bag unassisted as Markakis is retired. Time now for you to text in your vote for the AT&T player of the game. Nick Markakis has a couple of hits, including a home run. Mark Reynolds is 2 for 3. Or how about Kurt Suzuki, a pair of solo home runs. And the Orioles at the moment trail by 2. Text in your vote now and have your voice heard. A, B, or C to 51862. There's also a club option on Balfour's contract, so he came here for the security, 2 years plus the option. Here's Adam Jones. And a line drive towards the middle. There's a base hit. That went by 2 gloves. Balfour stuck his hand up, went by his. Jamal Weeks stuck his glove out, went by his.
Well, he sizzled it into center field. And when you sizzle it, sometimes it's hard to lay leather on it. Sizzle.
And here's the situation you just described as the tying run comes to the plate.
And the doubles last night were to right center field. That's why Crisp is not a whole lot, but maybe a step over into right center field. And in such a vast outfielder, you're thinking, okay, the double's going to score him. Anything up the gap's going to be 6 to 5. And nice little series for Vladimir Guerrero. 4 for 11 with those 2 RBIs.
He last homered on Saturday against the Tigers.
You know, it's also the time of the game, Jim, where you're thinking, okay, if he's going to get a base hit, or where can I go where he's not going to get out of the ballpark. So if you come in, it's harder to do when you're behind in the count. That's why they're sitting away when he misses away. So now all of a sudden Vlad can cheat. He can look outside middle, stay on that pitch, try to drive something, maybe look inside at it. Cheat a little bit with the bat speed.
Jones on at first. 1 down here. The Birds down by a couple. Vladimir high fly ball to right towards the corner. Sweeney will make the catch in foul territory. Jones bluffs the tag to draw a throw and 2 down. So Guerrero a big out. And 2 away in the 8th. For every Orioles walk this season, CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the Living Classrooms Foundation. To date, the Orioles have drawn 327 walks for a total of $16,350. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Here's Mark Reynolds, who's had a good day. After a strikeout in the first, he has singled and doubled. I think he was fooled.
Well, that's only part of the story. That was about as good a curveball as you can throw. And if you're Grant Balfour, that's the one you wanted him to maybe put in play because it wouldn't have gone far. So that's the good news for him. The good news for Mark Reynolds is he had no chance of hitting it. Try to make an adjustment.
McCarthy went 6 innings, 4 runs. De Los Santos 1 scoreless. Now Balfour.
And if you're sitting at home, you're going, how does a major league hitter look that bad on a pitch? Well, you just don't pick it up. And you're looking at that little window of release point right there. See, now all of a sudden he's thrown him 3 in a row, and you know he may come back with another one, but if he doesn't make a good pitch, anytime a hitter gets the chance to see 4 pitches, time it a little bit better, you see the break. It's usually not as effective unless you make the perfect pitch.
So from 0-1 to 2-1. Ball 3. As Reynolds leads the Orioles in home runs, 27 on the year. He's now tied for 4th. And here's his breakdown by month. He had 2 in April, then 5 in May, 8 in June, 8 in July, and 4 in August. On pace for 36 home runs. Snap the Orioles. And there's ball 4 outside.
Well, we mentioned when Grant Balfour came in that what Bob Melvin, the Oakland A's skipper, brought him in to get 4 outs. He said, I didn't want to do that, but I wanted him to pitch to Raimo. So here we are in back-to-back games with what, about 12, 14 hours between them. Raimo has a chance now to do some damage. Boy, would he love to atone for the ball that went over his head early in the ball game back in the first.
The record, by the way, that Reynolds is on pace to break is held by Tony Batista. The record for home runs by Oriole third basemen is 31. So 2 on and 2 down. The tying runs are on. The go-ahead run at the plate in the 8th. Orioles need a big hit. And a strike taken on the outside corner. And Johnson just got up in the Oriole bullpen. Patton pitched a 3 up, 3 down, 7.
And because of Brandon Allen at first is playing behind Reynolds, good chance if you get a gapper. There's another curveball outside corner, fastball right on the outside corner. It appears that it's about a mile away from Nolan Raimo.
Because it is.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's not a strike.
And just imagine here, you don't want to get caught with the bat on your shoulder. That breaking ball hangs. Dan Bellino has just made the 17-inch plate with the baseball, what, 2 1/4 inches. So you're up about, what, 21? You've made that plate about 24 inches wide. That's not a comfortable hitting situation.
1 and 2 on Raimo, 2 on and 2 out. High fly ball to center field. Crisp is back on it. He has a play, and he has it on the warning track. So Raimo got into it, but not enough. And the Orioles strand 2 more. Middle of the 8th, it remains a 2-run Oakland lead. MLB.com At-Bat 2011 app for your iPhone, your iPad, your Android, or BlackBerry. Get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, interactive maps of Oriole Park, and more. And you can even check in at Oriole home games for the chance to win prizes, including upgraded seats. Text At-Bat to 31826 or visit Orioles.com for complete details. Well, Patton stays on. Buck Showalter has his team within 2 with one more at-bat to go. So Troy Patton will try to keep this as is. Ryan Sweeney will take strike 1. Sweeney, Pennington, Suzuki. Ronald's having some trouble over there with the lower part of his pant leg.
Well, John McEnroe get his tennis shoes on camera. Here you can't even see what shoes. Because the pants are all over. There you go. Well, I guess you can. Right there. Can't miss that.
Strategically placed. Here's the 0-2 to Sweeney.
It's incidental. If you ever have one of their, they make 14s. In case you wear a size 14.
Size shoe?
I got their new shoes, that, the ones that like you're almost barefooted. Feels like you're just kind of you're in touch with the terra firma.
Skied the left, Reimold is there. And one down in the Oakland 8th.
Which is very important when you're in San Francisco and traveling around the country. Sometimes you have to tread lightly in.
Shortstop, number 2.
I was up so early this morning because I'm kind of on Eastern time. The fog was out. The sidewalk is made with whatever stuff which sparkles.
Cement?
No, cement with sparkles in it, which you don't notice if the sun's out.
Pennington shows bunt, takes the ball.
You were just rolling over. You're working hard.
Probably. I worked late last night. Day game after night game, you got to get it done. Pennington is 0 for 3. That misses again for ball 2. The Orioles in the 9th will have Josh Bell, Tatum, and Andino due up. Wieters is on the bench if Buck Showalter goes for a pinch hitter.
And that will be against Adam Bailey.
Center field chasing Jones. And he angles to it and makes the catch.
Well, there you go.
Battling the sun. That was a tough play. And Adam stuck with it.
Daytime in Oakland. No tougher sky other than you go across the bay in San Francisco trying to find it. There it is.
Ooh. Wow. So Buck Showalter's on, and Jason Birkin is going to come on to face the right-handed bat of Kurt Suzuki. So Patton leaves, 2 out, nobody on. Here comes Birkin in the 8th. Cast is presented by authority of the Orioles. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Now that's interesting. Lombard swing. I'd get dizzy trying to navigate that.
So Jason Birkin, one of the B's out of the bullpen, comes in. We already saw Bergeson. Now Jason Birkin. A little matchup. Suzuki already with a couple of home runs. Jason throwing more sinkers he was talking about. Still the task for him is lefties are hitting, maybe not be the case here, righty versus righty, but lefties over 400 and doing a nice job against right-handers, only 258.
1-1 the count on Suzuki.
And Dan Bellino behind the plate. I mean, he's a, maybe you look at the scoreboard, but he seems to be a pitcher's umpire. I mean, not too hard to encourage to call strikes.
Patton went an inning and 2/3. He retired all 5 he faced. And a little bit low, ball 3.
Get back into one of those hitters counts again. The first home run, a 1-0 fastball. Next pitch, a drop me down breaking ball that hung and smoked that out of here.
There's Andrew Bailey, the closer, getting ready for the 9th. Three and 2 the count on Suzuki, who's 2 solo home runs. Right now the difference in this game.
Yep. Did it before in Boston last season. So it will not be 3 as he walks.
Michael Gonzalez is ready in the bullpen if needed.
And don't think that Buck Showalter's not aware that Jason Birkin has struggled against lefties, because he'll get Sizemore, and then with Weeks, the switch hitter coming up, that's why Gonzalez will be out there, so you can turn Jamal Weeks around and make him hit bat right hand.
Sizemore, the number 9 batter, has a couple of doubles today. And he takes strike 1. Both he went the opposite way, slicing them down the right field line into the corner. Athletics acquired him May 27th from Detroit.
And 2 years ago, he started out the season as their regular second baseman.
Bouncer towards the middle. Hardy is there. He will flip to Andino, and that's the inning. Well, here we go. 9th inning coming up. The Orioles down 6-4. Bailey will come on in Oakland. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. And by Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. Alcatraz
Leading off the top of the ninth
out there in the harbor. That is a tough ticket to get if you want to go visit there. Here's Andrew Bailey, the closer.
Tough ticket to get off there, too, when we're in jail. But, man, this is another tough customer, so to speak. 6 for 6 in his last 6 days. He has never, ever, and he's been a closer for 3 years, ever failed to close a game 29 for 29 in the second half of the season, 5 for 5 against the Orioles. They saw him. They did get a run off him last night, double, and then an infield hit by Andino. But hard thrower, big curve ball. He can get it up into the mid-90s. And again, his first 2 years in the big leagues, he was able to make the All-Star team twice.
Bell fouls it off, a ball and a strike. Ryan Sweeney moves from right field to left field, replacing Willingham. And there's David DeJesus, who was given most of today off, now in right field for the Athletics.
So you need a base runner, some way, somehow. Get somebody on. Take your chances.
Right on the outside corner.
Well, that's how the game ended with Josh Bell last night. He didn't think it was a strike, up and away. Bailey, who came through the minor leagues as a starter, and then moved to the bullpen where he's got that big hook. Misses there. And count to 2-2.
So Matt Wieters on deck. And ball 3 high.
Well, Bob Melvin, the skipper, said, I didn't want to bring him in last night, but I just wanted to get him a little bit of work, and we'll see if that hurt or helped.
And a bouncer just fouled down the line. An update on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. And right now, Nick Markakis with his home run and 2-hit game in the lead, still tying the vote A, B, or C to 5-1-8-6-2. Amber and Rick will have the results coming up on O's Extra Postgame. Bell swings and misses. It gets away from Suzuki, bobbles, recovers, and gets it to first.
Yeah, that's one of those plays. Again, a breaking ball sharp down and in, so that's the strikeout. And you have that 45-foot line. If you actually get into the line, and he's pretty much in it, but you can actually come a little bit in it. It cuts the angle off.
Matt Wieters.
And we're looking right down that line. So again, Suzuki gets to it quick enough, has a trouble getting a handle on it, and still able to throw him out.
Matt Wieters comes off the bench. He'll pinch hit for Craig Tatum. Looks over strike one. Wieters is 1 for 7 in the series. His one hit, a solo home run. Takes the ball, 1-1 the count. The Orioles really don't have a lot of options with their bench. It's a 3-man bench. Wieters was given the day off, day game after a night game. He falls behind 1 and 2. The other 2 batters available on the bench are Blake Davis and Felix Pie. Pie has not appeared in this series, nor has Davis. Wieters goes down on strikes.
Oh, there you go. That's Andrew Bailey right there. Not afraid to throw the fastball over, and then can get you out a lot of ways, and this is one of them. The skyhook.
Now batting, number 11.
12-6 outside corner. Changes speeds.
Orioles down to their last out. There's Robert Andino, 1 for 4. A couple of strikeouts. Takes ball 1.
Andrew Bailey does not take any time, does it? I mean, he just gets the ball and is back ready to go.
Ball 2.
He may take a little longer right here. He knows the Orioles are looking for base runners. There you go. Otherwise, know what his rhythm is. Maybe you need to change it a little bit.
Oh,
well, I don't know about that.
wow.
Routine. I mean, Robert Andino doesn't agree with this call. It's not routine. Strike zone shouldn't change. It's pathetic.
Andino rips it to the gap in left center field. That's down for a base hit. Bounces against the wall. So the Orioles are not done yet. Molino got him angry and he doubled. So Robert playing under control.
Yep, got a good pitch to hit, very much like the double on Monday night. Give the Orioles a lead, a game they would eventually go on to win.
Now batting, number 2.
So J.J. Hardy comes up, a potential home run threat. 1 for 4 with a single in the first.
Yeah, even though he's struggling, he still has 5 home runs in the month of August. Again, inside half hitter, loves to hit the fastball, and that's what he'll be looking for.
Outside ball 1. I don't blame Bailey for going out there. He might get another call. One-on-one the count, as that time he did get the call in the corner. Andino at second with 2 down in the 9th. Ground ball towards the middle. Pennington gets to it. He will not be able to make a play, but Andino has to stop at third. That'll be a base hit. And the Orioles now bring the potential go-ahead run to the plate. Nice job by Pennington to, at the moment, save a run.
Yeah, he saves a run. He doesn't save the day because the Athletics still need another out. That's the way this game is played. J.J. Hardy, who missed some games with sore ankle. Blake Davis will come in for him right here, just reaching out, not to strike out. There's the nice play by Pennington. He's going to check Andino just in case he rounds the base, but again, he's only the 5th run. Orioles are concerned about tying it up or going ahead.
So Markakis has had a good day at the plate. Another chance. Looks over strike 1. Andino's at third. He doubled with 2 down. And Blake Davis, the pinch runner for Hardy at first. And a little bit low.
And not a lot of history between these two. Only 3 at bats. And Nick does manage to have 1 hit in those 3 at bats. Outside corner, 94.
Well, the Orioles again down to their final strike. Andino and Davis, first and third, 2 down. And foul back this way. Showalter flashing signs to Willie Randolph. Davis would be able to steal the bag because up the middle they're not even paying attention to him. Line drive, base hit to right field for Markakis. Andino scores. Heading at third, it's Davis. The ball is bobbled. Davis is being sent. Here comes the throw towards the plate. He is out at the plate. As Suzuki finally showed Molino the ball. DeJesus bobbled it. Willie Randolph sent the runner. Davis nearly got in. And that's how the game ends. And the Orioles drop a 6-5 game. What a tough way for it to end on a play at the plate.
Yeah, and again, I mean, just misplays it. This is a guy that went 301 games without making an error. He butchers this ball. Markakis is going to make it 6-5. Here comes your tying run. Willie Randolph's going to wave him in. Picks it up. Strong throw. And a accurate throw, Suzuki. Boy, he's the hero. A couple of home runs. Blocks the plate. A's win.
So what a finish as the Orioles get a run after 2 men down, but the potential tying run gunned down at the plate as DeJesus got it to the catcher Suzuki.